Introduce Kerry Wirt, who I worked with at George Washington, and before, when I went to George Washington after a career at McAteer, I got to work with Joe Callan at George Washington. What a pleasure working under his department. It gives me great honor to introduce Kerry Wirt to induct Harold Joe Callan.
It's really good to see so many faces, so many alumni. It's amazing, and all of Joe's family and all these fabulous athletes, congratulations. I want to especially thank Mark and the board for being such a great support to the athletes of San Francisco. I've been privileged to work with them. I really have to, hats off to Mark really for all his, believe me, nonstop calling, talking, writing, emailing to get everything perfect for the athletes. So I feel very privileged to be here. I have the best opportunity today to induct not only one of the best coaches into the San Francisco Hall of Fame, but to share with you one of the best persons I know. I have had as my coworker, my department chair, and my very dear friend, Joe Callan. Joe was at Washington High School from 1969 to 1996. In those years, Joe coached fencing for 14 years, earning 5 championships, 4 runner-ups. Joe also served as the assistant track coach in 1972. Joe coached football for 28 years from 1969 to 1996. A lot of his assistant coaches and became varsity coaches after, Larry Yee, David Keys, what's that guy's name, Mike Meneses, the whole crew of them. He earned 3 round robin league championships in 1986, the first George Washington team to go undefeated in league play. Joe's teams made 5 Turkey Day appearances. Joe also was selected as Coach of the Year several times. Joe's coaching was second to no one, but more importantly, it was Joe's character that stood out. I was fortunate to work alongside Joe for many years. He was a role model for me as a coach. I watched how he guided the young boys on his teams, on and off the field. He would hand out ties to the boys to wear on game days to make them stand out and feel special. He would take them aside and talk to them privately and personally if they needed guidance, academically or personally. He took the father role of those kids that did not have their fathers around. I will never forget when Joe took a special needs student and made him a manager. I know this changed this young man's life. The love and patience Joe showed this young man was very special to watch. Behind every great man, there is of course a great woman. And no doubt, he definitely has that in his beautiful wife, Dorothy Callan. With parents like Joe and Dorothy, there is no doubt that they would have an amazing son, Adam, who just currently got inducted into the Athletic Directors Hall of Fame of the United States of America. But he just got inducted. Okay, I remember like it was yesterday when I would see Dorothy cheering in the stands and Adam down on the field throwing a football on the sidelines. I'm so fortunate to have the Callans in my life and want Joe personally to know how much I admire and respect all that you stand for. Congratulations on this very special honor, Joe. Well deserved.
Joe would like to remain seated.
Yeah, we can see.
You guys see him?
Yeah.
Not move.
Thank you, Kerry. I haven't heard anybody say that much about me. For the last time, my wife wanted a new car. Praised me for the car. You did get the car. I'm sorry. I think Kerry went over a lot of the stuff I was going to say, so I can eliminate that. But I started in '89 as a long-term sub in Washington. I had the choice of being a sub or go full-time at the junior high school. But I wanted to coach football, and I did not want to teach junior high school. So from '69 to 15 years, I coached For 15 years I coached football with the lower level, 9th graders and 10th graders. I did not really know what I was doing in fencing. I had never seen a fencing match. I fenced myself, but they told me if I would coach fencing, coach football, teach PE, they would hire me full-time in Washington. That was something I couldn't refuse. So I took in order to help me in fencing, I took a course at USF in how to fence. And they had all these all-star people from all over the world fencing up there, and the instructor put me up against one of the better ones, and I looked like some crazy man off the street. I had no idea what to do. Anyway, taking the lessons for a year or two helped me, and I had some real good kids, and the ex-coach from the year before helped me. I did take over. I coached for 14 years. I think by the 11th I knew what I was doing. And by the 14th we were winning championships. So I coached for 14 years. We won 7 championships in those 14 years. I also coached football. It was kind of a funny combination, football and fencing. But football was a different deal too. I started in the fall of '69, and there were supposed to be 2 of us coming in the summer to coach 2 different teams. Well, the one coach couldn't show up, so I was stuck with 150 kids to divide and put them into 2 teams and play a game in 2 weeks. I played a couple of years of football in college and high school, but I had no idea what FA and all this stuff was. And here I'm supposed to coach two teams. The thing it did for me, though, it made me organized. It made me efficient in what I do. I put kids in different groups, found the best players that worked that group, and had them work. And that worked out fine for us. After the 14th year, I thought it was enough. I finally got hired as the head coach of the varsity football team. So I spent, I think, 15 years as a frosh teacher and 2 years as an assistant on the varsity. And my last 9 years were with the varsity football team. I think Kerry mentioned this, but I don't have that much to brag about, so I'm going to bring it up. She mentioned that with my first year coaching the varsity, we went undefeated. My whole team is back there.
Yay!
Because I only coached freshmen. We stayed pretty basic. There was not a lot of fancy stuff going on in my group, but the basics seemed to win for it. And the first year back, we went undefeated through the league against all the varsity teams. Except we had to go to Turkey Day that year, and we lost by a point, 15-14. It was a heartbreaker, but next year we came back and won Turkey Day. And I appeared in 3 more Turkey Days. We lost by 1 point in each one of those three games. It was tough to take, but I had a job, I had a wife, I had a son on the way. I was a happy man. I did not do any of this by myself, like I said, especially fencing, but football, I had a lot of help. And if you don't mind, I'd like to just point out some of the people who helped me. It's kind of in the middle of the sentence, but our most important accomplishment was building a positive culture that the coaches and players have helped develop over many seasons. Our players were proud of their team, respected their opponents, and were admirable to student athletes. Empathy, which is treating each student as an individual, was a concept employed by all my coaches and players. That culture allowed every player to be respected, feel good about themselves, and perform at the best. To be honest, I really love winning games, but my main thing was, it's like this was my family. I want everybody happy, I want everybody complimenting each other. If we win, it's fantastic. And the truth of the matter is, if you do all those things, if you have a good culture like that, you don't have to worry about winning, you're going to win. If you give your players a place to capitalize on their skills. Larry E. and Damon Key, my coach when they were student athletes in the 70s. These 2 guys played for me in 1971. They came back and 50 years later and wanted to coach with me.
Nice.
They came back and after they graduated from college, they got hired as teachers. They were my chief therapy irreplaceable assistants. They remain my close friends who were truly responsible for Washington's success. They all had accomplishments that took hard work and ability to play as players. I wanted our players to see what other athletes do besides play sports, what other things they can do to build a family and a good life. My assistant coaches, I like to name, I have a few names I like to name. One is Nelson Alstrom, who's here tonight. He was a college wrestler, high school wrestling coach, real estate investor, became a house flipper, JV football head coach. So my point here was, he has other things that kids picked up on. There are other things that they can do. We weren't just football coaches. The next young man is Joe Hurley, who's here tonight. He's our speedy running back and place kicker at Sacred Heart High School in the 60s. He was a place kicking guru for the Eagles. He would still stay after practice for 2 hours working with one kicker. We had good kickers, obviously. This is some special recognition of people who helped me during my time there. One is Sue Saunders, who's on vacation, not here today, and Frank Allen. They were ADs when I coached. If I needed something, they gave it to me. When I first started my first week, we needed a 7-man sled. Heavy piece of machine that you push. And I asked both of them, can you give me a 7-man sled? Well, we really need it. A week later, the 7-man sled was here. And it was like that through the whole year. Anything I needed, they gave to me. Made it a lot easier to play. Carolyn Sanders, sitting back here, he was our very famous dance teacher at the Washington. Next is Tammy, her name. She was a fencing assistant, executive director of the Alumni Association of Washington. She helped me with the fencing. Steve Ellison, who's sitting in front of me, and her wife Linda, put together the nomination form for me. Steve was the source of football info for me, but I didn't know that much about it when I first started. I needed to know something I called Steve up, and he also was the football consultant at City College. Tom Schwartz, sitting over here, he was in with my genuine crazy call. We were on the 1-yard line coming out, and I was calling plays. And I thought it was third down, it was actually fourth down. So I called a double reverse, something you would never call. That's something you'd never call that close to the goal line. Believe it or not, I went for a touchdown. So Tom is talking to another assistant, but Callan is a genius, do you know that? He just called a double reverse on the 1-yard line and went for a touchdown. Lastly, this is the most important people here, is my special assistant, my son Callan.
Yay.
He's a water boy, and he gets that real good at it, so we promoted him to a ball boy. Actually, he started when he was about 7 or 8 years old. He went to every practice, and it really helped him in athletics. He saw how a high-level practice is run, how high-level players play at that level, and he became an outstanding athlete in his high school. The last person to help me, and if I forgot this, I really be in trouble, is my wife, Dorothy.
Yes.
She was our computer savvy person. She sewed and repaired damaged uniforms. She organized team dinners. She's the loudest fan in the stands. Chief consoler after a hard day, and a great wife and mother. And that's the Callan.
We're going to stick around and take more